All right, for this first step, we're gonna have our paper towel. We're gonna fold the paper towel completely in half, okay? And then we're gonna fold it into a triangle. Now the cool thing is that in addition to folding it into a triangle, we're gonna fold it again so that we're making a little bit more pleats. So I'm gonna take one of my short ends and I'm gonna fold it up, okay? So it's kind of like this. Now we're gonna cut this part off and then we're gonna round right here so it makes kind of like a petal with your scissors. Okay, so here is our rounded off edges and we cut out the middle. So when you unfold it, or the bottom, so when you unfold it, it's gonna have this little opening, okay? Kind of like on a real flower where you had the very middle is where the pollen is at, okay? Now, we're gonna use next our watercolors, okay? And you're gonna color each one here of these little sections with a different color, okay? You're gonna leave a little bit of an edge so that the water can travel up, okay? And it's gonna disperse it out the water wise, okay? So let's do that now. And you can do any pattern you want. I'm just gonna do squares or rectangles. Okay, now you have your lovely colors here. I did a rainbow, just because, why not? Makes all my artsy fartsy people very happy that you go in a rainbow order, or if those who love rainbows. Now, one thing that I did notice is that you can definitely, and it makes it really fun, use smelly markers, and then you have a whole entire rainbow of smell as well. We'll see whether or not, and you let me know whether or not your flower smells like the markers after we're done, okay? So we're gonna roll this part here to where we roll it all the way over to the edge, okay? All right, I have my rolled up piece here. See my rounded edges that we did earlier? We have our little bit of space left at the bottom. Okay, and now I have my cup of water here. It's cool to see if you have a clear glass. It's not gonna be necessary, but it's kind of cool when you have a clear glass so you can see it. Okay, it just has cold water. I want you to experiment to see whether or not cold water or warm water travels better, okay? So we'll try this with cold water, but then we're gonna try it with warm water and see if it travels better, okay? So we're gonna take this tip, we're gonna put it right inside, and you're gonna cover up the lovely colors a little bit, so just above the colors, and notice, look at that. The color is just bleeding up, okay? Now I have it so that the paper towel is touching the bottom. My cup is only about halfway full. This is cold water, okay? And look how that's bleeding with the chromatography. So basically what it's doing is it is separating out the color and the ink. And you can see the different colors travel upward with that water. Now we only need to do it for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna unroll it carefully and place it in a paper plate so it can dry. All right, remember I said that we were gonna try it with warm water? Well, I put a cup of water in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And let's see if we get better chromatography with warm water. And I did the whole coloring. So let's see, we're gonna place it in. Let's see if it bleeds faster or farther. Look how the warm water makes it climb faster. Look how beautiful that is. And it's just going all the way up to the top. I want you to try with both, okay? So you can see the difference, but look how beautiful that is turning out. And of course, it's gonna drip out some color. So please wash your cups, okay? So let's dry this one out. And then make sure that you unroll it carefully onto a paper plate and dry it. It's gonna take a few minutes to dry, and then we'll be ready with a Q-tip to roll it onto a Q-tip. Look how that warm water caused all that beautiful bleeding here. Warm water is definitely the key. Can you see how some of the colors, they mixed a little bit here? You know how you get two colors mixed together and you get brown. So that's like an orange and yellowish or orange and reddish. Okay, so look how beautiful that is. Again, we're gonna let this dry. What I do suggest also, if you wanna make it a little bit faster, go ahead and use a hair dryer, but it has to be on cool, okay? All right, so I have my paper plate here and I have my almost dry coffee filter here. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a Q-tip here. You could also use a straw. My house cannot use straws because, well, I have four-legged animals that think that the straws are very cool to play with. So they steal all the straws. So I'm going to use a lovely Q-tip here. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll this Q-tip so that it makes it like the stem. And you can see I have one in here. I tried it a little bit too to see whether or not, and you can do this to where you insert the Q-tip or roll it in the Q-tip first and then stick it in the water, but you still have to have the water, and this is the warm water, touching the bottom of the paper towel. It will not travel up the Q-tip, but it just makes it a little bit easier to hold on to, or you can just stick it in there and watch it. And this has just been going same time period for drying. So let's go ahead. We're gonna roll this over here. Okay, we're gonna roll it onto our Q-tip all the way around so that we have a good little stem to hold on to. Okay, and then of course with it being dry, you're gonna be able to completely tape it so that it stays shut. Or in this case, I have already done one. And see how this one's real pretty. This one was with the cold water, so it still works with the cold water. Okay, and I just rolled it around the Q-tip so it looks like it's a rolled flower on the Q-tip. That way you can stick it into a vase or something. Okay. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. You can see the pink that just went through. And remember, we used all of the colors of the rainbow, but look how that just bled all the way up. So I would assume maybe you would also, it's up to you as to what you observed. I'm gonna say in my observations that the warm water caused the marker to bleed more and faster. So look how beautiful that is, a beautiful flower. And you can be able to put a whole entire bouquet full of these flowers that are never gonna die, right? Now, you tell me whether or not you can smell any color on these, okay? So we'll do that observation. You'll do that observation as to whether or not you color these. Now, could you also do each one color? Yes, you could do it so that you have just one color and you do a whole bouquet of rainbowed flowers. So you have rainbow colors going all the way around. So each one is a different color. And then you can also see the difference between each color separately. Well, I hope you enjoy this. Give me some comments as to what you thought about the video and give me some pictures as to how your flowers turned out. Talk to you later.